What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Glowing Your Studios here, coming at you with a brand new sculpt. Today, let's sculpt the masked man. Alright, so for those of you who do not know, the Masked Man is from this acclaimed masterpiece of a game that unfortunately nobody's ever heard of, called Mother 3. And we have a phenomenal render here by a very talented Hextuple U. That's the username. And this is for like the Smashified series. I think that he worked with Artsy Omni. And we're also going to be using a whole bunch of references from another very talented team behind Curiomatic that's going to serve as a major inspiration and source material for the render that we're going to be working on. So let's get started. Let's sculpt this guy. Oh, also, before I begin, if you like this video and you want to see more, definitely sub to my channel. Leave your feedback. I would love to know what you think, what could I be improving on, what you like, what you didn't like. And of course, if you'd like to get your own Masked Man or anything else, check the link in the description for my shop and you'll find everything that your heart could possibly desire. So anyway, back to the video. I very much love Mother 3. I thought it was a fantastic game. The Masked Man here is an extremely tragic character and is depicted super well. Let's do this. Circle equals red. We could very clearly see the head is a circle. The mask itself is going to be a circle. Imagine, right? We're gonna start as a circle, and then we're gonna cut down the middle to create an opening. Circle as in sphere, you know what I mean? Tomato, tomato. And then we're just gonna do the basic shape. Wow, that is that's crazy. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. And we're gonna slip that on to the sphere, and it's just gonna stack right on top. Obviously, the eyes, one of them is obscured by this visor. General structure of the body is going to be a sphere, another sphere for the pelvis, one sphere for each of the thighs. This is going to be easy because we don't have to do a lot of joints. Feet are easy. Sphere, cut right down the middle, so we're left with something a little bit flatter, like that. And then the last spheres are going to be the collar of his jacket that we're going to be flattening and fitting around the top of the sphere that you're going to be making for the jacket itself. Maybe one more sphere for the palm of the hand. Alright, so next, let's do some cylinders. Right? Oh, jeez. Oh. There we go. We got a big one here. Now, obviously, with the great thing about cylinders, we're able to change the radius at various points. So this point right here is going to be wider than this one. We're going to be duplicating it and setting it off to the side. Right? We're going to have another little one right here. Then a third one right here for the rubber that is going to be insulating his arm. Fourth one here for the nose, the tip, the edge of the gun. Ankles, of course, are going to be spheres right here. Cylinder in disguise. There's going to be one here that's going to be rotated 90 degrees. That's going to serve as the buckle of his belt. Another one here for his forearm. And then some big ones here on the sides of his head, right? These are going to be cylinders. Obviously, they start off like this. And then we're going to be changing it so that they basically fit like this. Slip that right on, turn it 90 degrees. Boom, you got the helmet. All right, let's do a couple of tubes. Here's one right here. Big core is going to connect to his back. Other ones are going to be for his zipper and the arms. Each of the fingers, of course, are going to be tubes as well. And the laces on the boots. Last but not least, can we get some cubes going? Now the backpack is basically just going to be one big box that's going to be subdivided into a whole bunch of different sections, adding a little bit of fancy detail, and we're going to slip that on his back. And pretty much every element of the sword is going to be a cube that's going to be cut. It's going to look something like this to begin with, and we're going to be using the trim tool on each of the various sides and rotating it around to sharpen the edges. Alright, and with that, the block out for the Masked Man is complete. Now let's get that sculpt on, shall we? Let's start off with the sphere that represents his head. Adding some preliminary facial details will never hurt. Let's also throw in some big spheres to represent the positions for his basic anatomy. All right, here comes his mask. Now, what do we say we're gonna do? We're gonna take a sphere, gonna do a lot of cuts, hollow out that region, and we're gonna slip it right on. Rise, my masked man. All right, now let's add those cylinders to represent the earpieces. Gotta let this man hear what's going on around him. A simple box that's gonna be cut is gonna represent his visor. Here's some cylindrical placeholders for his arms. Smooth that out. Obviously, his shoulders are not perfect edges. And let's add another cylinder for his forearm. A sphere for a placeholder hand won't hurt. And here are the spheres for his feet. You'll see that we're gonna cut them, and we're gonna make them nice and flat. That way he can stand on solid ground. Here's that cylinder with that changing radius that we talked about earlier. That's gonna be his gun. We just duplicated the front so that he could get the nozzle. Now let's quickly slap on a couple of spheres to represent his collar. This dude is nicely decorated. Quick cylinder for the belt buckle. And here comes that zipper. Gonna throw it right on, even it out with the face of his chest. Going back to that cannon, we're gonna duplicate that to serve as the rubber insulation on his arm. Now check this out. We're gonna duplicate the mask, and we're gonna use some clever trimming techniques to give that mask a little bit more depth and a robotic edge. We're using a reverse crease tool here to make this edge look harder than it is. Time for the backpack. All we're gonna do for now is just make a box, round it out, fit it on his back. We just need to see what it's gonna look like. Couple accessory details here and there just to flesh it out just a bit more, such as some striations here in the rubber insulation. And let's go back to that backpack. We're gonna smooth out a whole bunch of different edges, have these components all fit together so it flows in a natural, mechanical way. Now, how else is that blaster gonna get its power if it wasn't for a power cord connecting to that backpack? Let's finish off with the emblem. Now it's time to make the hands. Oh, relax. I promise that it won't be that bad. As of late, I've pretty much been using the same technique to do all my hands, which consists of doing a sphere that's a little bit offset with a big area serving as the base of the thumb, with simple tubes with hard edges serving as each of the fingers. Time to make that special little sword that he has that absolutely rocks Lucas and Co. throughout the game. You saw that it was just some boxes and some cuts, not too bad. Okay, and here we have the base model. Check it out. You could very clearly see all the different kinds of shapes that we've been using. Mostly spheres, some hard edges here and there, all fitting together nice and easy. So after creation of a simple rig, we threw him into a nice, dynamic little pose. Very subtle. Head tilt, arm extended, ready for battle. Now check this out. Boom, look at those details. He's really starting to come to life now. Creases all over the clothes, as well as just general texture on the clothes, will really take your work far. Texturing on the helmet is nice and smooth, so let's get some paint on. Check it out. Primary layer of paint is on. Browns, oranges, and everything in between are the main color palette, of course, with the silver. And without further ado, let's render him and make him presentable. Not too bad, right? Everything came together much nicer than I expected. Making this guy was an absolute joy. I love Mother 3 from the bottom of my heart. But that's not all. We still gotta turn him into a figure. May God bless the engineers behind the Elegoo Saturn. And here is the painted print. God bless my painter Lyrigen. She did an incredible job. I'm gonna link her Instagram in the bio. And if you guys want to pick one up for yourself, of course, check the link in the description for my shop and you can pick this guy up. If you guys got this far, I appreciate your time so much. And you could expect more fantastic models in the future. I hope you learned something. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, how we could improve. And I'll be back with you guys in another video. Thanks again, and bye-bye.